So what has happened to relationships, gender roles, and specifically the testosterone levels in men in the last 50 years? It's no secret that the men today are slightly different than they were a while ago. And do you know that the testosterone levels in men 1, 2, and 3 generations ago were nearly twice what they are in men today? The question is, do you believe the federal government might be behind this for some reason? If so, put it in the comment section. I was teaching a psychology class the other night, and this particular issue came up, and I was asked my opinion about this because of the FBI and the InfraGard program. Let's pretend for just a minute that the federal government maybe has something to do with this. I'm not saying that they do, but let's pretend for a minute that they do. What would be the purpose? Well, let me shock you with starting out at the chemical level about things that you use every single day. There's a xenoestrogen called BPA, or bisphenol A. This particular substance is found in all of your plastic water bottles, as well as plastic food containers. What's the largest side effect? A decrease in testosterone levels and a decrease in sperm count. Also a chemical called a phthalate, which is also an addition to plastic products. This one lowers testosterone levels specifically targeted to young boys below the age of 18. We've all heard of water chlorination, cleaning water systems, cleaning water supplies. There is an additive put into this process called a haloacetic acid. It not only lowers testosterone levels, it delays puberty and is linked to male infertility. And we've all heard for the last 50 years about the importance of fluoride in our water systems. Do you know that that same fluoride lowers testosterone biosynthesis? And it disrupts the function of Leydig cells in the testicles of men. Now, what do these things accomplish? It specifically lowers testosterone levels in all men, specifically men 50 or younger, and primarily men 30 and younger. And what happens with lower testosterone? Men become weaker, they put up less resistance, and they're easier to control. Now, is this on purpose? Let's go a little bit deeper. Now, according to a research study entitled Brain and Behavior, a new study found that administering testosterone to weakly affiliated Democratic men reduced their identification with the Democratic Party and made them feel significantly warmer toward Republican presidential candidates. Let's go a little bit further. With lower testosterone levels in men and a push towards what's called second and third wave feminism, where women are encouraged to take more masculine roles, and when you are a masculine male, it's considered to be toxic, so you are told to repress that. When those things happen, what do you think happens to the population level? Just so you are aware, it takes a minimum of 2.1 children per adult female to replace the population. Some studies say it's 2.7, but 2.1 is the primary number that is come up with in most of these studies. And that's just to replace the current population. Where are we at today in the United States of America? According to all sources, currently in the United States, we are at 1.66 births per woman, and that's as of 2022. Ask yourself these questions. Is there anyone or any specific organization that you can think of that wants us to not have as many people in the United States, overpopulation and all that sort of thing? If so, what would be a very simple way to make that happen? Part of it would be to take traditional gender roles, confuse them, and encourage one to act like the other. When you push second and third wave feminism into the idea that all masculinity is toxic, unless, of course, the woman is the one that is asserting the masculine traits, then we have is a much higher egalitarian society where traditional roles tend to be swapped or combined. It was simple to encourage women beginning in the late 60s and early 70s to get out of the home and get into the workforce, and that's when the primary bump in women participating in the workforce actually happened, was in the early 1970s. And coinciding with that has been a multi-generational push for men to become more feminine, for men to become less what they call toxic. And what this has done has lowered testosterone levels. And what does this accomplish? Just like I told you before, it accomplishes a lower birth rate, and it accomplishes weaker men that provide less resistance and are much easier to control. So is the government involved in any way in this process that we can clearly see through the data? I'm not saying that they are. What do you say?